Hi, it's Luna, activist teacher here, and I know that everyone is getting ready to celebrate Thanksgiving in America, but I want to remind people that this is a white supremacist holiday for genocidal maniacs. It should be a day of mourning, and you should celebrate Indigenous Peoples Day instead. What I do is that I get together with my friends and we have a day of mourning. We do have the typical food of mashed potatoes and stuffing and gravy. Everything is vegan except for the turkey. And we get together and we cry over the cranberry sauce. And of course, we do a land acknowledgement and state that the land that we're standing on does not belong to us. Although I do feel like I have a right to be there because I'm 142nd Hotep.
Yeah, I wonder how that cranberry juice tastes with all those tears inside of it. And I really hope that that was a satirical skit, but with the way things are going, it probably wasn't. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Zurkadowski here of WeAreChange.org, and there's a lot of absolutely crazy and wild news to get into today, as of course there's a lot of civil strife, especially here on Thanksgiving, as of course we have a ruling establishment and corporate media that have sowed you down the river, as they, of course, sell each other out, as well as there are some significant problems for the mayor of New York and larger geopolitical problems unfolding here, of course, in the United States with arrests over speech. Yes, you heard that correctly. We are going to be talking about that. Plus, I will be sharing everything I am thankful for this year here on this independent media broadcast in this video. If you like the shirt that I'm wearing, you could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. And the clip that we played in the beginning of this broadcast was, of course, originally shared by @ClownWorld, that always has the best curation of mental illness and craziness on the internet. But the clip originally came from Kali Fontanilla, and it does look like she did a parody account here, thankfully. Because in reality, there's actual people like that in the world, and it wasn't that far from parody, but it was still brilliant, still really funny, and shouts out to Kali Fontanilla, and we, of course, will be highlighting her YouTube channel down in the description below. I'm going to give her a follow myself. Go follow her, check her out. I never heard of her before, but from the looks of this video, great work, as she fooled me, and she probably fooled a lot of people with this high IQ like satire that I definitely think we need more of, as the lines are being blurred between insanity and comedy, as of course we have major mainline institutions releasing articles like this, telling you how to decenter your whiteness in the workplace. What does that even mean? What racist gobble-gooble bullcrap is this that is just regurgitated on the American people every single day? Again, I get it because it's probably a part of a larger divide and conquer agenda, but really? Have we gone this far as to have so much nonsense in our mainline society? And the answer is yes, as of course the latest divide and conquer scheme is dividing people on the left and the right within each other, who of course are fighting each other based on the very complex geopolitical situation unfolding right now in the Middle East, as pro-Palestinian protesters just decided to glue their hands to 6th Avenue, disrupting the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, with, of course, a lot of people being upset about this. But personally, in America, you have the right to protest. You don't have the right to disrupt people's lives and celebrations. And it looks like these people were fighting capitalism, like racism, during a day that is supposed to be representing people's thankfulness in society. And yeah, they're just a little bit of party poopers. Still America, though. What does Palestine have to do with climate and capitalism? I don't understand this, as a lot of left-wing demonstrators and establishment figures have been becoming more and more desperate lately, as there have been some significant election results happening all over the world, highlighting how a lot of right-wingers are becoming more popular than ever, especially after the local elections that just happened in the Netherlands, where the right-wing populist party just won the most amount of seats in the Dutch general election. Javier Milei, an anarchist libertarian, recently won the national election in Argentina, as polling in Germany and France is also highlighting more favorability towards right-wing and more populist, libertarian-like ideas that the corporate media establishment absolutely hates. Has there been an energy shift? Is there going to be a larger kind of evolution, revolution, or transition here in our political discourse? Will there be something to stop it? That's a discussion that I think is worth discussing, as of course the Democrats are eating their own, especially with low favorability and poll numbers for Joe Biden. But also, it looks like we have another sacrifice at the altar, as New York City Mayor Eric Adams now is facing some very serious accusations about him going all the way back till 1993, as there now is a plaintiff accusing him of some really horrible, inappropriate actions 30 plus years ago. How is someone supposed to remember what exactly happened 30 plus years ago? As of course, New York City passed laws that of course get rid of statute of limitations when it comes to a lot of these very serious accusations, as this is not the only legal woes for the mayor of New York City, who also faces a major FBI investigation, as the Federal Bureau of Investigations just seized his phones, a part of larger accusations that are being held against him when it comes to more corruption, financing, and misdoings with Turkish government representatives. And looking at this story, looking at all the accusations being brought back from nearly 30 years ago, you kind of got to ask yourself, what did this man do? What did he do to piss off the establishment to the point where they are going after him in every single way possible? Well, he probably didn't play ball, he probably didn't follow orders, and therefore now he must be gone. As the corrupted, mafioso-connected Como family now looks to, of course, take his position as mayor of New York City, as Andrew Cuomo, the former disgraced governor there, now looks to potentially run for the mayorship of that country, as his ouster also involved a lot of different conspiracies and theories working behind the scenes that absolutely upended and destroyed his political career as of now. This says, of course, politics is an extremely dirty game and a lot more conspiratorial than we actually even know. And that's why I created LukeUnfiltered.com, my own platform where I get to share my ideas about these conspiracies, since, of course, I can't share them here on this particular platform. YouTube, extremely censorious. A platform that does not allow us to talk about particular news stories. Theories doesn't allow us to be hypothetical in any way, shape, or form when it comes to the news. But on LukeUnfiltered.com, we get to have a not family-friendly show where we get to go over all these issues. We actually will be having a special video available just for members right after this one, as members also get the ability now to call in to our live show that we have on rumble.com/wearechange. And we had some really awesome callers last night asking some very cool questions, which I greatly appreciate. If you want to do that and to get access to the secret Telegram channel that allows you to essentially speak to hundreds of thousands of people, like literally all the lives that we've been doing, huge numbers. Every single show, at least over 100,000 viewers on rumble.com/wearechange. Really incredible in-studio guests that truly top-notch stuff. First episode we ever did, 205,000 viewers. Truly, this show with Clint Russell of the Liberty Lockdown podcast has been going incredibly well. And we are going to be continuing the broadcast next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on this specific YouTube channel. Also, don't forget, we have a special Black Friday sale for our wearechange.shop supplements, which now have 25% off store-wide just for, of course, Black Friday. The sale started now. Use coupon code GIVETHANKS to get 25% off all the amazing supplements that we have available to you right now, which you could also get in a bundle pack and individually, which now you also have the option of subscribing to, just so you don't have to go in every single time and, of course, buy these very important products that we put our name behind, that I personally use, that I personally like. And I really like these products. As you can see by the wear and tear, I take this one everywhere. I use this a lot of the times. Same with magnesium glyphosate. Same with essential fatty. Chill pill, I only designate specifically for stressful times out of the year once for a month. And then, of course, I take a break. I recommend you guys do the same as well. As, of course, talk to a medical professional. Make sure you're making the right health decisions for yourself and start your own health journey, which is more important than ever, since the first thing that I am thankful for this Thanksgiving is the ability to understand how there are some really nefarious, sinister people out there that prey on our weaknesses and ignorance and use highly emotional, manipulative techniques in order to make us fat, sick, stupid, and poor. And the only way not to be any of those things is to understand what's really happening in this world and not have your head in the sand. I am grateful for this ability to have the knowledge and information at my fingertips, at my disposal, to be able to live and implement in my life, but more importantly, share with others so they could make the right decisions for themselves that, of course, do not make them a victim of the larger predator class out there that preys off of your ignorance and stupidity. Again, it's very difficult to be on top of everything. We do our best to make sure we're on top of it here. We make sure we spread the best information while at the same time trying to teach you discernment and critical thinking skills, telling you all the time, don't believe us. Please do your own homework. Please do your own research. Here's the data. Here's the information. Here's the evidence. Make up your own mind and decision from here. A lot of those particular topics discussed on lukeunfiltered.com. But we, of course, also discuss it here. But more importantly, we're also now able to discuss it on platforms like Twitter, or now known as X, as, of course, a lot of online content creators like Chaya Rachik of the Libs of TikTok Twitter account came out and said that she's thankful for Elon Musk saving free speech in this country and actually putting his money where his mouth is, fighting for people's ability to be able to actually discuss ideas in an honest, open, transparent way without any bull crap behind it. If there's some censorship efforts, he actually explains it. He actually talks about why he made particular decisions when it comes to still some of the political commentators out there that are not allowed on his platform. But when it comes to my ability to be able to share, to converse, to talk to individuals, to spread ideas, to be able to laugh about current situations, truly, lukeunfiltered.com, Rumble, and Twitter are the places to be, as these are one of the few places that we actually get to stand behind things like the First Amendment of the United States and use it to our fullest abilities. And I'm very thankful for these men, because these men and these platforms are directly under attack by some sinister, really bad individuals and forces out there that rely on lies, misinformation, and, of course, propaganda in order for them to have their way with you. As I mentioned in last night's podcast episode, I truly do believe this election cycle will be met with a galvanizing Pearl Harbor-like event. And that event cannot happen unless the very powerful people in our society control every aspect of communication. And unless they do, their special galvanizing event won't work, because people will call it out. And it can only work if they have control of speech and communication. This is why I believe there has been such a desperate attack against Rumble, against Twitter, because very powerful people understand that they can't get away with this very galvanizing special event unless they get rid of the platforms that could actually call these events out in real time. This is why, in my own personal opinion, I believe that there has been such a major attack against these institutions, because only without them could they get away with whatever they're planning. As it's fair to say that the probability of something major happening this election cycle is on our radar. And it could only happen if they, of course, are able to move forward with their plans, as, of course, free speech in America is under attack, especially in places like New York City, where now a man has been arrested for saying mean things towards a halal food cart worker. This is specifically someone who worked for the Obama administration, a part of his security council, who, let's be honest here, said some really mean, awful, horrible things to an innocent man that was just trying to, of course, make ends meet and work by providing food to the local population there of New York City, and only to be met by a disgusting human being that, of course, viciously, verbally attacked him with some really mean words. And this man has now been arrested in New York City and specifically charged with hate speech crimes, which are a series of new laws implemented in New York City, similar laws like they have in the United Kingdom, where you could get arrested for saying words that offend some people. Now, even though I find what this man said to be disgusting, I do not believe this man should be arrested. And the fact that he is shows a law that soon will be implemented in many horrible ways, directly attacking individuals who dare to question the state, its motives, and its larger agenda. To me, even though we might find what someone says disgusting, they still have a right to say it here in this country, as of course we have the First Amendment, we have free speech, and this case probably will be taken up to the Supreme Court, as it's also important to note here if the shoe was on the other foot, and this was a Palestinian man talking to a Jewish man, I would still have the same point of view here, as of course our rights are essential and we cannot be getting rid of them because someone got offended or emotionally hurt. Words only have power if you give them power. This case is a case that we should all be looking at, and whether we like this man or not, even if you find him disgusting, you still have to stand behind him and his right to be disgusting, because that is a right that is entitled to every single American. And once we get rid of that right, you allow the government to trample you for any kind of expression that they will deem offensive later on. As of course, the fact that the NYPD has investigated this man, has arrested him, has charged him that he is going to be facing criminal charges because of his words, while crime is going up dramatically in New York City, is absolutely ridiculous. I used to live in New York City. I used to deal with some of the insane people that are living there. I used to deal with, personally, one situation with a DUI driver that literally wrecked my car. Cops, 2 hours to respond. As of course, people are there and viciously attacked numerous times, and the police officers sometimes don't even show up. But you're going to get a guy arrested for expressing some disgusting opinions? That right there shows you a city that is spiraling out of control and definitely does not have their priorities straight. And again, call this man racist, call this man bigoted. Let the people decide themselves in a court of public opinion if they want to voluntarily have commerce with him or not. But once the state gets involved, you could understand that they will be absolutely abusing this new power and authority that they have given themselves, not just against the disgusting people in our society, but to everyone who, of course, threatens their position of power, as power usually acts this way. Now, some people on the left are celebrating this, as of course they're not the biggest proponents of, the Constitution, the First Amendment, and American values, but they should be warned that the same kind of prosecutorial powers will be used against them whenever the state deems them inconvenient. And whether you like it or not, if you don't stand for freedom of speech for your enemies, you don't stand for freedom of speech at all. And personally, I stand for freedom of speech. Where do you stand? Do you agree with this arrest and prosecution? Press 1 if you agree with it. Press 2 if you disagree with it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below, if you could even convince me otherwise. But I'm pretty staunchly First Amendment, anti-war, pro-liberty, pro-personal responsibility, and it's going to be a very difficult job in order to convince me otherwise. I watched the video. Yeah, the guy's disgusting. I don't care. You have a right in this country to express ideas that other people find disgusting. Once you get rid of that right, things change very dramatically in this country. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. That's my stance. That's my principles. That's what I stand on. You agree with it? Share this video with your friends and family members. You disagree with it? Let's engage in a conversation down in the description below. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys actively engaging with me, and this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more. One more video coming your way here on LukeUnfiltered.com. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.